The Raiders' new running back, Ashton Jeanty. Congratulations and welcome to Raider Nation.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, what a whirlwind. I mean, I just want to talk about being on stage with the commissioner, Lambeau Field. Next thing you know, you're in Las Vegas. You got Fred Biletnikoff, Jim Plunkett, Marcus Allen there. What an experience. How's it going?
Man, it's going great. I mean, so many things happening fast. I mean, I felt like I was just on the stage, and I blink and now I'm here, you know. But it's all good, man. I'm loving it.
The fan base there in Wisconsin, what was it like? I mean, was it just kind of craziness?
Oh, it was crazy for sure. They said it was like, 200,000 people. Like, when we got on the stage, I'm looking out, and I just keep seeing more rows and rows of people.
Yeah.
It's nonstop.
Because everybody talked about where you were mocked to, and we were hoping that you'd be there. And then the Travis Hunter move in Jacksonville and all that. I mean, you're focused and you're sitting there ready to be called, but that was really unique, those first 3 picks and 4 picks before it got to you at 6.
Right, yeah. And I think, I'm not going to lie, once we kind of got to the Browns and, I didn't get no call from now on, I'm like, hey, I'm finna be a Raider, baby.
That is awesome, man. Well, then you're a professional football player now. Talk about all those folks who kind of poured into you, helped you out, helped you get here, your family at Boise and all those players. Talk a little bit about what that journey has been like.
Man, it's been a long journey, but, it's been amazing. I've loved every second of it, getting here. There's been so many people that helped me along the way. I mean, coaches, teammates, mom and dad, brothers, sisters, siblings, aunties, uncles. I mean, I could be talking all day about people who helped me, right? But I'm just so thankful, to be here. And then, the most special thing I think in the moment was to be able to share it with all my family, and a lot of different people who've invested in me and helped me get here today.
I want to stay on that. Family means a lot to you and your background and how you grew up and how you worked through adversity in life. Let's stay on that for a minute and your immediate family and how they helped you along the way.
Yeah, so mom and dad. Mom's a teacher. Dad was in the military. So gotta have good grades and for sure gotta be disciplined. Make sure you're doing something right. But not only that though, just a great foundation, but just supporting me in each and every way. They're here right now with me today.
Awesome.
So, they've always been along for the ride. And then, all my siblings, I got an older brother, older sister, younger sister. They've all been so supported. And, those are like my best friends, built-in best friends, growing up. You got to share everything, do everything together.
Yeah.
So I'm just so thankful for my family, and, family's everything for me.
That's so important. Talk to us a little bit about when you first started to think about yourself in this position, on this stage in the National Football League. Was it something you expected, like when you were younger, high school, college? What was the deal?
Yeah, I think once I started playing football, I was about 11, 12, and I knew it could be something special. But what was crazy is I always had people telling me, like, hey, you're going to be professional. I've never seen anybody like you. What you're doing? And, I'm just thinking, all right, whatever. Like, I'm pretty good. But, once I got to high school, that was when it kind of, really settled in. And, I could kind of see the bigger picture of, me getting here and then kind of focusing in and, locking in and really taking it serious.
I was up at the Mountain West Championship game in that cold game as you won and went to the playoffs. And I want to spend some time with your Boise State family. That was a big moment, not only for you personally and your teammates, for the fans to deliver a college football playoff and what that meant to the program. What a great way to go out.
Yeah, that was great. That's what we talked about all year. In the start of January, with the new landscape of college football, we knew we had a chance to do it, and, we could be the first team potentially. And, we put that in the back of our mind, but, we didn't look too far ahead, and, we took it one day at a time. But to, be one of the leaders of that, and, do something so special, for the fan base, the community, Boise State, it's never going to be forgotten,
Awesome.
Yeah. Boise, as you know, I'm from the West Coast, and Boise has always been that school that had those players that, man, there were going to be 3 or 4 of them that you knew when they got to the league, they were going to take care of business, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Talk a little about that journey. If anyone from the university kind of helped you and schooled you on what it'd be like to get here.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of different guys. That's the cool thing about Boise State. There's a great alumni presence, and I'm hearing there's a great alumni presence here too.
The best here. The best here.
So, I've seen a little bit already talking to Marcus Allen.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so there was a lot of different guys. I mean, from when I first stepped on campus, I mean, you know, J.L. Skinner, he's playing for the Broncos, Scott Matlock.
I coached J.L.
Yeah.
in high school, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was, you know, also talking trash to me at practice, but after practice, like, you know, sitting down and talking to me and, you know, saying, you know, how we're going to need you, this different potential. George Halani in the running back room, probably one of the most important relationships that I had because, you know, from when I first stepped foot on campus, he, you know, was like a mentor. He took me in. I mean, he's showing me plays, teaching me up, you know, helping me. So to have that brotherhood, and I mean, there's multiple other guys. Alexander Madison, who's, you know, just playing here too. He's been reaching out a lot. So I've been grateful to, you know, have all these different, you know, players, former or, you know, current, you know, while I was there in my corner.
The whole thing that's going forward now with Pete Carroll, we spent a lot of time with Geno Smith yesterday. He was at the draft party. He was pretty excited when the pick was made to play now with Geno, but Brock Bowers, the offensive line you're going to get going with coming up here. It just feels like you're in the new piece that could get this offense really explosive because you know Max Crosby and that defense on the other side.
Yeah, real exciting. I mean, like you touched on, there's a lot of great pieces that they have. So I'm glad to, you know, join the attack and, you know, be an instant asset for this offense and this team.
What's the process like for a running back when you're getting prepared for a game? You know, that's one thing I understand, you know, studying receivers and offenses, you know, but what's the process for the running back, like going to game? Do you worry about the contact? Do you worry about kind of what the defense is trying to do? What is that process on game day for you guys?
Yeah, I think, you know, the way we did is we took it by situational. So, you know, going from, you know, mixed downs, you know, 2nd and long, 3rd and long, 3rd and short, 4th and short, red zone, high red zone, low red zone, right? And then, you know, what type of defense are they playing in these situations and, you know, breaking those down and how we're going to attack that, right? And then just me personally, I watch every guy on the field, you know, how they tackle, you know, whose tackles are going to be easier to break, whose are going to be harder.
There you go.
Oh, so you're looking up the corners. That's what you're trying to say.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We love corners. But, you know, like, because, you know, a lot of times in the run game, right, there's going to be, you got to know which 1 or 2 guys you got to make miss or, you know, break the tackles from to, you know, make those big plays. So that's really where my analyzation goes. And, you know, I feel it's very detailed. You know, it has to be, especially, you know, when the defense knows you're going to get the ball, right? So you got to be a step ahead and, you know, not really going off instinct, but kind of knowing what's going on before it happens.
All right, last one. Here we go. Raider Nation. I mean, this is massive for you. We're so excited because you're going to get to see. You saw the alumni today. How about this building?
Amazing.
Amazing. And now the fans, you're going to settle down. This is going to be your home. What do you want to say to the Raider Nation and these fans who are just so excited to welcome you?
Man, you know, in the same way the fans are excited, I'm just excited. I'm already loving Raider Nation. You know, I can't wait to make so many memories and, you know, have such a great presence in the community. And, you know, I've scored a few touchdowns in the stadium, so hopefully a lot more coming soon.
Ashton, thanks for doing this.
Awesome,
to your family and everyone else, thank you so much. And it's been a whirlwind. Enjoy the rest of the day and especially the weekend here in Vegas.
Yeah, thank you so much.